I remember being in the hospital, the initial time I was in the hospital for a long time, and I remember just wanting to go sit in car loop. Car loop is like this dreaded thing for parents. You're in this line of cars for 40 minutes waiting for your kid to come out. I remember just wanting to do that. And those are the things that you miss, and it's a new perspective of gratefulness and like gratitude that like, I just want to do those mundane things.
Emily started feeling sick when our kids were 3, 5, and 7. So they were really young. She had some GI issues, some bleeding that wasn't supposed to be there. And so she went into an emergency clinic and just had things looked at. They tested her blood, and there were signs that something's not right.
What I thought would be one day in the hospital ended up being 43 days.
A physician on the weekend, an oncologist, he came and he did a scan that nobody else had done before. And when he looked at that scan, basically, he showed us that her GI was full of lymphoma. It was a very scary time, but I did feel very optimistic that we were going to find a solution and get her back home, and everything's going to be back to normal.
Ultimately, I was diagnosed with stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I went on to do 6 rounds of chemotherapy. That therapy didn't work for me, so I went on to do a stem cell transplant, which was by far just the hardest treatment that you can imagine.
We still felt optimistic, but also knew at that point, if this didn't work, that's plan B. There's no plan C.
I had the kids in the car, and my doctor called. He told me that the cancer was back, or that it was still there. And it's just like, I just went through the hardest thing ever. And I am still like sick and recovering, and I don't even know if I have any options left. Like, I don't even know what I'll do. And I just remember I came back home, I was alone, and I just bawled and I just screamed. And I literally remember, like, I threw a tantrum.
The same guy that found her cancer a year and a half ago, he's like, they're just writing about something. It's called CAR-T. We've studied it. It's not available, but we're going to look into trials. Maybe there's a trial somewhere that we can get you into. And it's not at his hospital, but maybe somewhere around the country. Fortunately, we were already in the hospital system in Houston, and there was a spot that opened up.
The trial opened the week I needed it. This door opened when there was nothing. What they explained was that they would take out my T cells, part of the blood. They would take those to a lab, and in the lab, they would add receptors to those T cells. And this receptor would match the protein on the cancer. This is just so much more specialized, and it's using your own immune system.
This isn't a medicine, it's your own cells, which really makes it different. And to have results like it had for somebody like Emily just gives beyond hope for other patients going to get this CAR-T.
Within a month, I had my scans, and they showed the cancer was gone. At the 18-month was when I think I truly was believed that this was not coming back. I'm so grateful to be a survivor, to have had that option, and so I try to not take that for granted.
Fact is after going through something like that, you do look at life different. We try not to take anything for granted.
Each day is a gift, and I just appreciate life.